Welcome everyone to another episode of the Terraria series. As you can see, I have completed the game. And today's going to be a bit of a different episode than the normal ones, as instead of going through trying to beat the game, I'm going to be showing you my favourite weapons all time in Terraria. So, let's get on with it. The first one I love the most is the Phantasm. This Phantasm is definitely one of the most satisfying bow and arrows to use, as of all the differences it has. It shoots 3 bullets at once, and it has that Phantasm arrows that shoot out if you're hitting something. Also, compared to the Luminite arrows, it's a very good, fast, damaging thing to use against bosses. The next thing I love is the Ghastly Glaive. This is a very nice weapon, and when you hit people, it shoots ghosts. Like, wow. So if I just shoot this possessed armor, if I can get to him, can't get. Okay, well I'm gonna have to. Look, ghosts come out. That's really fun. Okay, next we have the Death Sickle. Who doesn't like the Death Sickle? It's just so satisfying to use and to just obliterate most of it because of its piercing effect and also the slow moving, always spinning things. It's really useful, and it also goes for walls. The next weapon I really like is the Bubble Gun. A dupe fish on dropped weapon. It's very nice, and it's very quick and does high damage. The only problem is it's very close range, so you're not going to be using it against bosses that much because it's that close range. Okay, next weapon is the Butcher's Chainsaw, another high damaging but close range weapon. This is just very satisfying to use at close range in close encounters because you can just obliterate basically anything. The next thing I love is the Phantom Phoenix. The Phantom Phoenix shoots 2 arrows at once, not as good as it does not as much damage as the Phantasm. But the reason I like this weapon is when you shoot it well, like a fiery Phoenix comes out, which is very good against bosses. It also pierces. Now, a weapon I really like to use is the Toxic Flask. It just obliterates anything with high HP, to be honest. I don't know why it uses mana, but anyway, it's one of my favourite weapons definitely in the game. Now, a favourite of mine, the Influx Raver. You might have seen me use it in previous videos. I love it really much, and it's just basically a Terrorblade that's better. But the Terrorblade is more iconic. Next one I really like is the Magic Dagger. I don't know why I love this automatically returning to you dagger, even though it doesn't do very well. But I don't know. I just really like it. I find it very satisfying to use. So yeah, next one is the Terrarian. Best yo-yo in the game. It's just the best yo-yo, and like there's nothing less satisfying than shooting green balls out of a yo-yo that just absolutely obliterate this onto. Now we're going to put out the next set of weapons. Okay, next we have the Sky Dragon's Flurry. You get this from killing, I don't remember what the dragon's name is called. I think it's Betty or something. Yeah, Betsy. And you get this, so we drop from it. And he has 2 attacks. If you hold down RT on the Xbox, it does a spinning attack. But if you hold down B, it does this really cool, like electrifying zapping attack. It doesn't do much damage, but it's a very satisfying weapon to use, in my opinion. Also, 1.4 hasn't came out on Xbox, so next one we have the Psycho Knife. I love this weapon because 1, you can turn it to stealth, and also it just shoots really quickly, and that's what I love about this weapon. Like you can just go around stabbing stuff. I call it my grass collector just because of how quick it is. You just mows the grass and everything. Next we have a very fan favourite, the Terrorblade. I love the Terrorblade just because of how iconic it is and how hard it is to make, and that means it's basically just really iconic. Next we have the Demon Scythe. Demon Scythe is very nice because it shoots basically balls like the Death Sickle, but just a bit less damage and also uses mana. But it's very reliable, and it's very good against a Wolfdash. Next we have another mana weapon, the Shadow Flame Hextile. This is a very close range but a high damage weapon. Okay, If I was in 1.4, this would be literally like the biggest graveyard in the whole world. And it shoots really, really quickly and does lots of damage. As you see, it took out that bird like it was nothing. Next, we have one of my favourite weapons in the game, the chain. Because the chain is just really, really useful for farming. You can stand on top of this like a platform and then just rain hell down onto the enemies that are coming up to you. But like, it's just so fun to use, and I don't know why, but I love this weapon. It's dropped from the corrupted mimics, if you're wondering. Okay, next we have the Shadowflame bow, switches normal arrows into Shadowflame arrows, which is one of the best flames in the game. And I don't know why, I just love this weapon. High damage, and it's just really classy. Razorblade Typhoon, one of my favourite magic weapons in the game, just because basically like the Influx Waver, which is the alien sword, when you hit someone, it bounces back and hits it again. So it's very, very fun to use. If I can just test that out on a mob, there's a crimson slime here. As you can see, yeah. And it also homes onto them as well, which is really weird. They can't escape. So yeah, I love this weapon a lot. Next we have the Exno Popper. I don't know why I really like this weapon. So, because like it's just so satisfying when you just like keep shooting bubbles and they all pop and just shoot like bullets at people. It's really, really cool. Then we have probably the worst weapon I have on this list, the Molten Fury. The reason this weapon is in my heart is that it's basically the bow we use to kill the wood of flesh, and every single wooden arrow turns to fire arrows, which is really, really useful. I can't demonstrate it now because it will have illuminate arrows, but it's a really, really good weapon when you need to kill the wood of flesh. Time to get the next set of weapons. Okay, this is the final batch of weapons I have. Now, the first weapon we have on this list is the handgun. I don't know why, but I just find this gun really satisfying to use because it's just how like nice and easy it is to use. Even though you have to spam RT for it to shoot instead of holding it down. I don't know why. It's just really satisfying and really fun to use against early game bosses. Next we have the Water Bolt. This weapon carried me a long way before hard mode. I got it before I could enter the dungeon, which is very lucky. I used it to kill lots of bosses at that stage. That's why I love it so much. Next we have the Staff of Regrowth. This staff is really good because it regrows stuff, and also it does damage. It also regrows stuff, which is kind of cool. Like you can like regrow stone to make it look like this. It's quite cool. Okay, the next weapon that I love is no other than the Wand of Sparking. This weapon, nothing can live up to the insaneness of the Wand of Sparking. It just obliterates anything. Like literally, it's impossible to lose with the Wand of Sparking in your inventory. That's why you get it out of a wooden chest at the start of a game. Well, anyway, moving on. So next we have the no other than the Diddlius Stombo E. Very, very good weapon to defeat the Destroyer in 1.3. Oh look, I can test out the Wand of Sparking. Yeah. Fight me. Fight me. Look how insane the Wand of Sparking is. Like, it obliterates the Corruptors. Like, they can't even do a single damn thing. They just melt into the seas. Okay, now we have the the light discs, the things that everyone likes. Because they're just so satisfying. When you throw like 5 billion boomerangs at like one target, they just obliterate anything. Oh yeah, like 200 craps fine. Nice. Next weapon that I really like is the Vine Horn. Now this weapon is really, really nice because it just basically pierces through everything. It can be very, very useful for facing some really good early game bosses, and you can just find it destroying one of the Crimson Hearts. I mean, they're not the Corrupting Hearts, which is very, very easy. And also, these do tons of damage. Okay, the second last pick I have is the Golden Shower. This thing is really, really good because it debuffs enemies in Ichor, which removes 20 of their defense. It's very, very useful against stuff like Duke Fishron, and there's a corrupt goldfish down here. Look how insane this is, it obliterates anything. It's not even funny. Okay, yeah. So we have this thing that debuffs basically everything. Look, it debuffs it. And the Divine Horn, it's insane itself. It's just obliterating that kind of stuff. Alright, and the best weapon in all of Terraria is the Slime Gun. This weapon is so... Oh. Wait. Oh. The best weapon in the game is the Copper Short Sword. There's nothing that can compare to the insaneness of the Short Sword. It does everything you want in a sword, but better, because of its insane, speedy, insane damage, fast, very long ranged sword. And also, it's used to craft one of the best weapons in 1.4, the Zenith, which means it must be good. So, yay! I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you want to see more, subscribe to my channel. Actually, no, you don't have to. And if you wonder where I was dead. But anyway, there's pumpkins on the land. I'm gonna just keep on using this vine horn to just bully all this stuff because it's just so overpowered. Nothing can beat it. So, I hope you enjoyed this video and see you next time. I have FIFA 21's coming out and I've pre-ordered it, so yeah, you might see some episodes of that soon. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this video and goodbye. Juice myself.